Why did millions of fans burst into uncontrollable tears when they saw them step out? What truth hides behind Taehyung's restrained smile and Namjoon's unusually long embrace with his commander? Today, something happened in South Korea that millions had been waiting for, counting down the seconds with breathless anticipation. The long wait is finally over, but it did not end the way anyone expected. The emotional climax, the thunderous welcome, the sudden silence in the air, and then the tears. Not just theirs, ours, yours. The world watched, and the world felt something far deeper than mere joy. BTS's Kim Taehyung and Kim Namjoon, V and RM, have officially completed their mandatory military service today. The news, announced just hours ago, has set the entire global fandom ablaze with emotion. But there's more to this homecoming than a simple return. Because what unfolded in front of the gates of the military academy wasn't just a ceremony. It was a moment that shook something sacred, something silent, and something that had been waiting in the shadows of duty, distance, and longing. But what really happened inside the academy in those final hours? What made both V and RM stop just before crossing the final line into civilian life, turning back one last time as if something had been left behind? Was it just formality, or was it something else, something unsaid? This is not just about them exiting a military compound. This is about a story that runs far deeper than steel gates and salutes. Because as Taehyung's name echoed through the announcement speakers, and as Namjoon's boots took their last steps through the parade grounds, a tremor of emotion spread across the sea of fans, soldiers, and media. Why did both of them shed tears, subtle but undeniable, as they faced their last roll call? And what is the meaning behind the red thread bracelet that Taehyung wore under his uniform? Fans zoomed in. Analysts speculated. But no one has the full truth yet, except, perhaps, each other. At precisely 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time, with military precision, the exit gates began to open. Fans had been camped out since the night before, lining the surrounding hillsides with banners, candles, light sticks, and trembling hearts. And as the military band began their final song, a composition that RM himself had reportedly helped write, an eerie calm fell over the base. Then he appeared, Taehyung, clad in full formal uniform, with a face sculpted by discipline but eyes that shimmered like he was 10 years younger again. He saluted with perfect posture, but his fingers lingered a moment too long on his temple, as if not quite ready to let go. Behind him, RM emerged with a presence so commanding that it caused even the younger soldiers to straighten instinctively. His shoulders, broader now than ever, carried the gravity of leadership and memory. But beneath that hardened military shell, his expression cracked open for just a moment when he locked eyes with Taehyung across the field. Was it relief? Was it sorrow? Was it the weight of everything they had endured and survived? The crowd erupted into cheers and screams, but Taehyung's reaction was what caused the first ripple across social media. He bowed, not just once, but deeply 3 times, each longer than the last, as if offering his heart to everyone watching. And when he finally lifted his head, his lips moved silently, mouthing words that fans later claimed were, "Thank you for waiting." But then came the unexpected twist that no one saw coming. AS reporters prepared to follow the standard post-discharge procedure. Interviews, photos, statements. RM and Taehyung took each other's hands. Not in a rehearsed or symbolic gesture, but in one filled with raw, undeniable emotion. Their fingers interlocked, and they bowed together. Twin soldiers, twin souls, twin stories now finally returning home. And just when everyone thought the ceremony had reached its emotional peak, a black vehicle pulled up behind them. It wasn't on the official schedule. It wasn't listed in any briefing. Out stepped Jin. Yes, Kim Seokjin, who had completed his own service earlier, had come quietly, unannounced, to greet his brothers. He wore civilian clothes and a face flooded with tears. Without saying a word, he embraced RM, then Taehyung, in the kind of hug that breaks open all the silence we carry. The crowd, stunned for a moment, exploded in sobs, shouts, and disbelieving gasps. The emotional floodgates burst wide open. But there was still one more unexpected twist. AS fans scoured every inch of footage for hidden meanings and signs. they caught sight of something even more shocking, a letter, handed quietly by a senior commander to Namjoon, then slipped into Taehyung's pocket with great discretion. What did it say? Speculation is now running wild. Was it a personal commendation? A confidential offer? Or something far more secretive, like a proposal for re-enlistment in an elite unit, or an unpublicized act of heroism during service? No one knows yet, and neither RM nor Taehyung has said a word about it. But they both look changed. Not just older, but deeper. Like two men who had seen things they would never fully share with the world, but whose bond now exists in a space beyond music, beyond fame, beyond even friendship. Fans began trending global hashtags within seconds. Hashtag welcome back Taehyung, hashtag proud of RM, and the mysterious hashtag red thread truth. Why the last one? Because keen-eyed fans noticed that Taehyung's bracelet matched one he wore before enlistment, something he once described in a V-Live as a promise to never forget who I am, no matter where I go. And what of the music? In a statement released just before the discharge, Bigot Music confirmed that both RM and Taehyung had been working on new material while serving. Songs written in the shadows of barracks, lyrics scribbled between drills, melodies hummed under breath during night watches. But here's where it gets even more mysterious. The final track in RM's unreleased notebook is said to be titled The Gate. And the last line reportedly reads, "Some doors we close behind us, some we walk through together." What gate was he talking about? What door is next? With the group's full reunion on the horizon, and only months left before all 7 members stand together again, the question now shifts from, what have they endured? To, what will they reveal? And for fans who have waited through silence, sacrifice, and distance, today was not just an end. It was a beginning laced with mystery, sealed with tears, and burning with the kind of emotion that no chart position can ever measure. So we ask again, what happened in the final moments before Taehyung and RM walked through that gate? What truth lies in the letter? What promise in the red thread? And what song are they silently carrying in their hearts, waiting to sing only when the time is right? Stay with us, because this story is far from over. This was not a discharge. This was the start of a legacy reborn. The official ceremony had ended. Fans were still crying in the streets. Reporters were still typing frantically into microphones and cameras. The military officers had saluted them for the final time. The band had played its last note, and the brass gates of the academy had begun to close once more. But two shadows remained inside. Taehyung and Namjoon didn't immediately leave the grounds. They stayed. They stood still in the middle of the now empty field, looking up at the vast gray sky above the compound where they had trained, served, and grown in silence for what seemed like forever. What held them back? Why, when they were finally free, did they not run? And then the wind shifted. A gust tore through the field, and with it, something fell from Taehyung's chest pocket, a folded piece of paper. That same mysterious letter handed to them earlier. RM picked it up wordlessly. His hands trembled slightly, and when he opened it, his entire face changed. He didn't speak. He simply looked at Taehyung, then nodded. The two of them turned on their heels, not toward the outside world, but back toward the main command building. And cameras followed. And fans saw. Only a few military personnel, stunned and confused, watched the two most famous soldiers in South Korea re-enter the building as if on a mission. And here is where the rumors begin to explode. Multiple unconfirmed military sources have reported to K-media outlets that there had been a classified assignment in the final 2 weeks of their service. A mission neither recorded in public documents nor acknowledged in official press statements. A mission that required extreme discretion, involved elite communication units, and allegedly included contact with allied intelligence officers from outside South Korea. Yes, international military cooperation, and Taehyung and RM were at the center of it. Why? What skills could two artists possibly bring to something so classified? Unless it wasn't about muscle, it was about mind, message, morale. Remember, RM has long been respected as one of South Korea's most articulate thinkers. He has represented his nation at the UN, spoken fluently across multiple global platforms, and has been involved in cultural diplomacy since before his enlistment. Taehyung, with his emotional intuition and sharp observation, has been referred to by many as the silent protector of the group, the one who sees what others miss, feels what others suppress. Could it be that they were used for psychological operations, morale engagement, or even undercover communication roles in the Information Warfare Division? Military experts suggest it's possible, and that letter. The 1RM read and pocketed. Some believe it was an offer, or perhaps a coded report that had to be returned to base before they could be fully discharged. A final responsibility, something that could change the narrative entirely, something fans may never be told.